Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to PTM Racing TV, where it all started, where it all began. Tonight, this is it. The season finale for these Cup cars and these Cup drivers here in their biggest season yet. It has been an absolute barn burner of a battle. Vehicles all the way to the top of their line. And tonight, in this big grand finale for the season championship, JR will lead them on off in the front half. He will take over. He will take as the leading starter tonight as your number one seed going into the top four. The second seed will be Dave in that number one Monster Energy Chevrolet Beast. Young RCN looks to finally capture gold and claim his very first season championship here tonight. And also in the fourth slot, it's Hoffy. And though in that number, well, I'm not sure. I really can't remember what number they're all in, unfortunately. But nonetheless, Hoffy back at it, and it's good to see all four drivers making the cut. McCarthy missing out on the cut by 3 points, and G Pre missing out by 8 points. That was how close this battle was all the way through this season. It was a long, hard-fought battle on hard road for these drivers that now ends up at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And I can tell you right now, judging by all the comments and compliments we've had tonight, it's definitely been a long road, a long stretch, and we're ready for this one here. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go. We are here. And it's definitely looking to be a good finish for these drivers. We're waiting for the queue to come on in. But before we do that, though, we'll give you the rundown of here tonight's action-packed adventure for the PTM Racing NASCAR Heat 5 Season 8, I believe, finale here. And tonight, they're looking at Atlanta Motor Speedway. As I said earlier, this is a 25% race with a two-time wear. A little bit different than what you've seen with the Rev Limit Racing guys as of late. But nonetheless, still a lot of action-packed adventures and hardcore racing at its finest. You'll see these guys duke it out as hard as they can. Some old favorites that are returning for one last ride into the sunset for this season finale. But nonetheless, the fuel run looking to be on Atlanta be a 28-lap ordeal. The stage one's going to be about 20 off in the final stage, a 31-lap shootout to the end. This being one of the biggest battles here for these NASCAR Heat drivers. They want to win it all here in this 81-lap race. Atlanta known for its action-packed races and battles, and tonight will be no different as we wait for the queue to come on in. You've seen the little black screen pop up there. That means we're getting ready to go racing here in just a little bit. And nonetheless, it is about that time, folks. We're getting word from our crew chiefs down there. We're getting word from the people running the show here in the producer's booth. We are almost ready to go. And I can say right now, it's definitely been a strong season for these drivers, a strong battling nonetheless. And it's good to finally have everyone back up and ready to go. So we'll see how it all plays out here as we get them all situated in. We're currently just waiting for everyone to tune on in and bring it in. So we will share the group around a little bit, and we will be back with you guys here in just a little bit. Do apologize for the quietness here. We're just kind of getting everything all settled in and figured out here. I will be your only broadcaster here tonight once again. So just kind of be aware that we'll be trying to work everything in we can from the cameras as well as the control booth here on the comments section. A little bit different than the iRacing stuff I'm used to doing, because this is where it all started for us, and this is where everything kind of went on for us as well. So it's kind of fitting to kind of come back and be able to do this once more. And it's definitely been, it's been quite the showing to say the least, you know, every time we've come out here with these NASCAR Heat Series stuff, there's always something new to expect, something new to see, and it's definitely been, you know, really interesting no matter what we have out here and no matter what is on display. And now we're getting the word we're ready to go green flag racing here. We're heading on down to the pit. We're heading down to watch some racing. 9 drivers in with us here tonight. We're scrolling on in. We're ready to go here. And here we go. Alright, bringing them on down. You will see these drivers come on the pit. You'll see them on the grid here. They will be all over the place for a minute. They're actually trying to get in line to the position they are supposed to start in tonight. This is how they finished out the season, how they finished out the series. So this will be where they are placed at the end. And here we go. We're on the track. We're on board here. Everybody getting all situated out here and taken care of. Again, they will look like they're a little bit all over the place for the moment because they're trying to get all the drivers in situated territory and getting them all ready to go. There he is, your number 1 seed, JR, the number 2 seed. That's Sweet Daddy Day, number 1 Chevrolet Monster Energy Beast. Right behind all of them, that is Young Racing, Young RCN, the 47 Kroger Chevrolet. The number 3 seed, and the number 4 seed, Hoppy, in the Tracker Off-Road, number 3 Chevrolet. He is the number 4 seed. Only those 4 drivers we just mentioned can become the season champion. And depending on how everything goes on tonight, we can talk with them. We can talk with them here at the end of the race and see how they felt on this track. But nonetheless, as we get ready to go green flag racing, they bring him on down around. For them to get to that restart zone and then watch them fly. They're going to get it on going here. Here we go. Right out of the gate immediately on the front stretch. Hoppy with the early advantage, trying to hold his own there in the 4th slide, while JR in the number 2 Ford Mustang has the early lead. Number 24 of the one you don't mess with Texas, the pride of Texas, Miss McCarthy, is already on the ball. She's now looking on in to get that 4th slide. Whoa, that Kroger Chevrolet around Garcia right into the wall there. He seems to be okay though as he brings them on around. Side by side they go out of turn 3, going into turn 4. Already does Daddy Day and McCarthy. I gotta believe Daddy Day is gonna be backing off a little bit, trying to corner better. With these custom setups, you can never be sure what's gonna happen here as they work them on down around out of turn 1. The bottom line is going to be the key factor here, in my opinion, early. It's going to be where you're going to see a lot of these guys and gals really try to hit their marks at and try to hit their spot at, and that's where you're going to see most of the action be played at, is where they're going to draft off there and where they're going to hit their marks at. Back down around out of turn 3, going into 4, Sweet Daddy Day, and the number 1 Chevrolet Monster Energy Beast Chevrolet doing battle here with the 24 there of the one you don't mess with Texas McCarthy and the Exalted 24 Chevrolet. Work them on around down out of turn 1, going into turn 2. Now Daddy Day got a run there up on Young RCN. Young RCN tries to hold his zone. You can see how wobbly they can be here. That's because they're trying to hold that line to the best of their abilities. Those bumps are going to really be the key factor to making sure you hit your mark and making sure you can stay out of trouble as Young RCN tries to defend the bottom line off from Daddy Day. Daddy Day trying to get the inside line there from him. Not quite able to get there just yet. In the comment section early on, we got Lance Brantlinger, aka Tommy Armor Boy. Tommy, it's good to hear from you again, buddy. We'll see you soon enough here on the iRacing circuit, and then the Pottles out on the track giving a let's go racing to these drivers out here tonight. So good to hear from everybody once more as we bring them on around down out of turn 2 here, or 4 I should say. JR, a commanding lead early, but how much of those tires is he burning up? Because he's got to be careful of that. And I do not have a way to actually see the laps right now, so the lap counter unfortunately will not be in my grasp tonight, so we'll have to work with what we've got. On down around out of turn 3, going into turn 4 here. You can see Young RCN still trying to get up there with JR. JR not quite giving any room there or any momentum back off that. Sparkalicious has joined us tonight in the comment section. Sparky, it's good to hear from you again, buddy. Work them on down around out of turn 2 here. JR still maintaining his grip. Work them on out to the back stretch they go, but you can see young Garcia, he's just waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right timing. Work them on back down around. Young Garcia still trying to get something built up, but can't quite get close enough to get around JR on those inside turns or the outside corner. And that seems to be his problem right now, is just trying to find that line to get around him here. They work him on down around out of turn 1 going into turn 2 though. We're going to go on board here, Young. I'm going to show you exactly what makes these guys so hard to beat and what makes them so good on this track. Obviously, it's give and take. You're going to try to heap as close as you can to the wall, but look very carefully there on how much they're actually letting off, which then allows them to get into position to get up into that apex there of the turn. And that's really what the key factor is for these drivers tonight. Working them on in, out, around. Young Garcia doing everything he can to try to get up there with JR. JR not giving him any breathing room, though, on that line. We'll see if Young Garcia is able to hold his own here. Working them on in, yeah. Young Garcia still holding his own, still getting his grip going here. They work him on around. Young Garcia, the only other driver besides Daddy Day and Hoffy that can challenge JR for this racing win. How about some old favorites in the house tonight? We got some of the originals back with us. Follows the throttle. She's joined once more for a little season finale kickstart. She has been racing in the series for a little while, so I guess early retirement did not come well. Are you serious? Looks like we're having some technical difficulties on our end of broadcast. Not sure what could the problem be exactly, unfortunately, but picture may come out a little clearly here. We do apologize for that. So, but nonetheless, back down, out around, outside now. Here comes Young RCN trying to juke it out here with JR. JR trying to give it everything he can here to hold him off. We'll see how well that plays around now as they go the inside now down the back. Straight away we go. And now look at this. Young RCN already starting to get some momentum built up there on the inside. He's now challenging for the lead. Running him on down around out of turn 4 here. You can see the run that Young RCN's got. He's finally started to pick up the pace and pick up the momentum as they work him on down the front straightaway here. Young RCN trying to hold him off once more, and he's going to get him here. JR is going to have to try to figure out something here to get back into this. Back on around now, Young RCN slowing down big time here. Looks like troubles for him there, and HD Nightster, he's up in the grass already. He's got serious problems going on. Do apologize for the delay there in the broadcast. We actually had to step out for a minute and try to get something figured out with the broadcast center here. Something not going right on our end. But it appears JR has still got the race. A sizable commanding lead, if you will. Really playing out to his strengths and really making it up here. So far, it seems as though no one's going to get him this time around. If he can get a championship win, and that would be something here tonight. Bring him on back around now. You can see Hoffy's still trying to battle it out here. He's got the 18 there. That is driven by G-Pre. G-Pre doing everything he can to hold off there on Hoffy, but Hoffy trying to sneak on the inside there. Trying to get some momentum built up here. Not quite able to get around there on the front stretch. And a little grass. Goes Hoffy. Spun out on around the front stretch there. Looks like follows the throttle as well. Serious issues for those drivers there. I believe Young Racing also lost momentum and power there and ended up spinning around there. We do apologize real quick in advance for the broadcast here. We're having some technical difficulties. Not sure why exactly that's going on, but we hope you can still see the action a little bit. We'll try to get all situated out and figured out here in a little bit, but right now JR is still your race leader and hoping to take home stage 1 here, but nonetheless stage 1 is not meaning anything this time around. They need to win that final stage, the big race win. That'll be the big ticket drivers out here tonight. Nonetheless, as they work them on around down out of turn 1 going into turn 2, JR still sizable commanding lead here. Seems as though nothing's stopping him tonight. So he keeps it going here and keeps the momentum alive. Still on around, JR still continuing his lead here. Follows the throttle, trying to get some momentum built up after that little hiccup there. And Young Racing giving it everything it's worth and everything he can here to try to finish this one out. Again, we do apologize.